Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my biz little shop. On today's episode of What's My Workbench, today I'm working on a ranch hand belt. And I'm working on a ranch hand belt because it's a belt that I gave away on my anniversary belt giveaway drawing. And the gentleman that won that asked for the black ranch hand in 1 1/4. And when I received this leather, I went ahead and cut it into straps, the complete hide. I cut some 1.5 inches and some 1 1/4 inches. So I'm gonna make his belt out of this 1 1/4 inch strap. I'm glad you're here today in the shop. So when I first came up with the idea of the belt that I call the ranch hand, I had some people say, you know, those are really beautiful belts, but you know, I just need a work belt. So I purchased this leather, and I purchased the leather in 3 different hides, 3 different colors. The black one here, let's see how thick this is. The brown was the thickest hide out of all of them. And I'm a little over 12-ounce leather here. So it's a nice thickness for a belt. The leather came with the back was, I think most people call it pasted, but it's sealed and it's smooth. And in some ways, it's a little bit hard to tell the front from the back until you maybe flex it. And you'll see that the back has a different look than the front once you do that. So, and I believe the front has been buffed as well, because it's fairly smooth. You do find some imperfections in it, just like you would a normal veg tan hide. And the edges of this, I've tested it, they finish off nice like a veg tan leather does. So the whole idea behind this belt was to keep the labor in it as low as possible so that you could sell it at a price that, I hate to say it, but I can, you know, compete with a plain belt purchased at, say, Kohl's. Anyway, I just thought it was a chance for someone to have a quality belt that is all leather, you know, no vinyl like you would get on those belts that I'm competing with, but a quality belt. So the first thing I need to do is, this belt's fairly small. It's a 34-inch belt, so that's 34 from the buckle to the hole used. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this strap roughly to length. So I add 10 inches to that, and that accounts for the bend over on it and the point past the hole that you use. So I'm gonna cut this, I'm gonna cut it 45 inches long, and not a crazy precise 45 even at that. And so the next thing I need to do is I want to put an edge detail on this belt, and it's not going to have a sewn edge on it. You could put a sewn edge in it, but the whole idea was to keep the labor low on it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a finished edge detail on this. And a lot of times when you come around to the point with that finished edge detail, it can be a little bit challenging to do that. I'm not saying I can't do it, but what I decided to do with these is I just run the detail off the end of the belt. Then when I put the cut on it, you'll see it still gives it a very nice looking finish on it. All right, to get started on here, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my edge detail on, and I'm gonna use my Ron's number 3 edger here and run the length of the belt. And I'm gonna do this front and back. But before I do that, I'm gonna use a CS Osborne creaser and put a little bit of an edge detail on this belt. Now this will create a little bit of a rounded appearance on here, but I like how it looks better if I've used the Ron's tool on there first. This is Ron Tools number 3. I think it gives a nice look to it. Next, I'm going to cut my round end on here, on the buckle end. I've got a a BHT 1 1/4 inch round end punch I'm going to use here. I'm going to measure in 3.5 inches here. That will be the center of the slot for the buckle. Go ahead and finish my edges. As you can see, it finishes off really nicely. A little thinner leather, so I'm going to use a Ron's number 2 front and back. Before I do the back, I'll put that edge detail on there. I've got a stainless steel buckle I'm going to put on here. Get this cut to length. I've got this English point from C.S. Osborne. It's 1 1/4 inches. I put that mark there because you would think it'd be easy to get that on there right, but it's easy to tip it, and it's obvious if it's not right. I'll line up here on those marks at the apex of the punch. Last thing I do is I run that number 3 here. Probably don't have to, but I like how it looks that way. Front and back. What's left? I've got to put the holes in for adjustment. He's a 34 inch. And I'll have 2 for smaller, and also makes the belt look more finished, in my opinion. And 2 for larger. All right, is it finished? Nope, not yet. There we go. Francis, this belt is headed your way today. It will last longer than the department store belts for sure. Well, there you have it. I'm halfway done with the belts for my belt contest. I ended up giving 4 belts away. This is number 2, and this is for B&F Outdoor Adventures, and this belt will be shipped out today. I hope you're having a great day. Please like, share, and subscribe.